everybody, and welcome to the Aggieville Alleycats podcast. For come rain, shine, or anything in between, we're here to deliver to you the Kansas State sporting news you so love. I'm Ace Edwards, right alongside
Connor Baltazar.
And welcome to what is inevitably going to be a very chaotic episode where we are taking not only Connor and I, but three members. It was supposed to be four. Sorry, Hayes, you'll be here next week if we do it next week. But we're going to take three members of the Aggieville Alleyfrathouse, and we're just going to be talking ball, basically. We're going to be talking about our thoughts for what the upcoming season is going to be, or all the athletic seasons, really. But let's just let everyone introduce themselves, starting, we'll go alphabetically. Let's start with Aiden, the agent of chaos himself.
Oh, no. Why me? Hi, I'm Aiden. What should I say about myself? K-State fan for life, unlike some hosts of this show. And yeah, I don't know. What should I say?
Why am I catching strays on my own show?
Immediately. It strays immediately.
That's what happens when you grow up cheering from a zoo.
All right, Ethan, you're up next.
I'm Ethan. I'm here. I'm a fan, and I don't know what else to say, really.
We really should have gone over like name, major, and stuff like that.
Nope. It's too late now. We're already starting this.
Name, major, and fun facts, bro.
No, this isn't a college get to know you segment.
Where's the syllabus? I need the syllabus.
No, you don't, dog. All right, look, we've already lost half the listenership, so it's just vibes. All right, Lucas, you're up.
Hey, everybody. My name is Lucas. Some of you may know me. If you remember my voice at all, you may have seen me on YouTube a couple times under the username Delukes. I talk about conference histories and historical what-ifs on a YouTube channel. So I do a lot of videos on the Big 12, and my favorite team, Kansas State University, just so happens to be a part of the Big 12. So I'm very qualified to be here, I'd like to think. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, I believe everyone except for Aiden has been on an Alleycats episode before. Lucas, I think, has been on 2.
I've been on 3.
Counting this one or not?
Flexing.
There was the non-canon, yeah.
The non-canon.
The Alleycat Lost Media.
You're wearing 2 pieces of Alleycat Lost Media, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and that's interesting, too, because you guys have been on my channel before, too.
That's true with the Farmageddon video.
With the Farmageddon video.
Banger video.
The rivalry video as well.
Yeah.
But that's the crew here that we're rocking with. So we're just basically going to dive straight in to what we think about the athletics year on the whole. And to me, I think it's fit to be an absolutely amazing athletics year because pretty much every single team has a great deal of talent except for like 1 or 2. And a lot of those teams, 2 in particular that I'm thinking of, are sort of entering, if you want to put it in like MLB terms, they're entering their quote unquote contention window where everything is just supposed to come together. So to me, it should be a banner year, knock on wood, for K-State athletics, especially in the non-rev realm. And this is an open floor. I don't care if y'all interrupt me, but by all means, just give your thoughts more generally on the athletics year.
Well, I mean, I think, everybody's feeling a little bit heartbroken over baseball. And really, I don't remember, was that the best season of baseball we've ever had? Like, I could be wrong.
It's right up there.
Yeah, it's up there. But
we won a super regional game in 2013.
Yeah, and they won the Big 12 that year too. So that year probably a bit better than this year. But I think the larger point is that years like this don't really come around very often for baseball. So.
Well, I mean, the only reason I bring that up is I think we get a little bit too caught up in this thought process of, well, man, that was our best shot we're going to have in a long time. And I think with a sport like baseball now, especially with the transfer portal and all that sort of thing, it's a little bit easier to have momentum be kept up, and it's also a little easier to just lose all of it. But I think that the main
Texas
thing
A&M.
here, we're not talking about recent events right now, man.
No current events on this podcast.
I'm okay. The only reason I say that though is I think it's if a sport like baseball specifically, it's really important for people to remember. All right, the boys know what it feels like now to be here, right? And they're going to want to try and get back there again. And I haven't, looked at exactly how much we're losing. Like I know losing Raph was tough, but you get the guy from Quinnipiac who I think it probably is you can't say he's going to be as good. What's that?
I think he batted like 342. Like he's probably not going to be as good defensively, but he's also not going to try and golf ball everything and bat like 0.98. It's the back half of the year.
All-time designated hitter. We have a designated hitter that actually doesn't hit like 215. Is that?
They don't need to hit as a DH. That's not their job.
No.
But yeah, Aiden, what do you think about like this upcoming athletics year generally?
I think it could be a good year, but of course, as a K-State fan, you have some reservations on how good it could be, just because it's like, have a lot of years where in individual sports you think, oh man, this could be the year where something truly special could happen, and then you go 8-4. But I think this year could actually just like on the aggregate be, again, like you said, a banner year for K-State. We've got a lot of talent coming in. I think the most intriguing team to me is volleyball, because the new arena, and I think Mansfield has it.
Yeah, I think he has the it factor. Like
exactly.
Just for 1 year, especially in the new arena, which Connor, you get next ups because of volleyball team, and then Ethan gets last. No offense, Ethan, but yeah,
I've never been offended in my life personally.
But yeah, the new arena mixing in with Mansfield.
Yeah,
I just think he sort of gets it where it's at right now.
Yeah, and the transfers he's been getting in, I haven't kept up on recruiting super well, but as evidenced by Sholshevsky last year, and I think we got a pretty big time transfer this offseason.
We got a few. We got 3 transfers in this year, I think.
Yeah, it seems like he gets it. He knows the club system out west really well, which is super valuable, obviously. And so for me anyway, that is the probably the most intriguing sport, because that we haven't seen a truly good volleyball program in quite a while. So that's, we have opportunity for something new, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, I mean, now's the perfect time to capitalize on that. And yeah, you're right. Volleyball hasn't been great for a long time. There's been like intermittent spurts of like, hey, that's kind of all right. But for the most part, they've just been fairly bubble team for the majority of the last 15 years. But last year, we didn't really expect anything from them because they were coming off a couple years of just really underachieving. And then they came out of nowhere to play themselves into the bubble against all odds towards the end, because they just kept not just beating, but eviscerating like top 15 teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many top 10 wins did we have?
I don't remember exactly top 10, but I know
like top 4 sweeps.
Yeah, we had I know we swept Texas 3-0. We beat BYU twice at home, and they were, I think, top 15 or top 10.
I think they were like 7th or something.
Yeah, no, we had a crazy amount of ranked wins, and a lot of it was due to the team just kind of figuring it out, and the arena being really great. Because I made it to a few games in the arena. The environment there is incredible. But I think you're right, Aiden. I think maybe the biggest thing is Mansfield just kind of knows what it takes, which has kind of been more broadly in the athletic department, that's kind of a trait that Gene seems to kind of hone in on. Like Kleiman, Tang, and Mansfield, those are all coaches that have won national championships at other stops that he's brought in. So
they also seem like coaches who understand the current recruiting, atmosphere, and seem like very modern coaches instead of like, oh, they were good at this school, Les Miles.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, well, the game has passed you by. They're, even if they're not super young, they seem to understand the
They understand the college
of
development. Yeah, it's like how college sports are generally developing.
So I'm very excited for the next track coach too, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Ethan, you have last dibs on general before we get into specific sports.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, I think this year we're going to get into it, obviously, but like different sports need different results to consider it a success. I think this year more than any year, in my recent memory, probably. But where have you heard this story again? Gene Taylor makes a surefire hire that like everyone that seems to immediately pay off, in spite of reception and stuff. And I think Connor hit on it really well, or just getting coaches with that pedigree, and they really hone in on their locations. So overall, I think this year different people need different things, but it could, like, I think it'll be decent, but I'm not the most hype ever in the world,
Yeah. So we're all right, Aiden. But we'll just start off with the football season. We are going to go through each sport. We're not going to give like the full hour breakdown that Connor and I do, because no one wants to listen to 4 hours. Because no one wants to listen to 4 hours of chaos and nights.
I thought we were doing all 12 sports. 12 hours. We're doing a half day, right?
I mean, seriously, how else am I supposed to talk for 35 minutes about how the cross country program is going to do this next year?
I wanted to talk track.
I had a whole dissertation on rowing, man. So,
but we're just gonna.
He started on rowing. Oh my god, bro!
We're gonna start with football, and we're gonna go basically in reverse order. But also, feel free to jump in on anyone's points. Especially, like, you have my permission to interrupt me at any time, and the odds of me,
I'll take that opportunity.
Are low. Yeah, there it is. But Ethan, you get first ups for the football season, which we got to give the student ambassador the first ups for the major revenue sport here.
Oof. This is gonna be it's gonna be a super fun year. I think the receivers really have my eye. I think it's receiver season this year. I'm a little bit scared for linebacker, just because I have faith. But like when we have a transfer, we have like whenever you go transfer hunting in April, it kind of like it's a sketchy feeling in my heart, but in my head I want it to be good, And then just overall, I think we're shooting for 9 wins. I'd feel happy with 9 wins personally. Playing into Arlington would be great, but it'll come down to like the trenches and the safety room for me. That's where I really want to see it. I'm a big fan if we can start getting some interceptions, and that'd be nice. I think it'll be a good year, and then we'll feel really jazzed going into Ireland 2025.
I predict a full reversal on Marquise Siegel's interception record. He's going to catch everything. He's going to catch everything, even those that seem just impossible.
So he's going to stretch Armstrong across the field, or
Yep.
No,
Last year they were hitting him in the face. This year he's doing the impossible.
Like he's getting the picks that Keenan Garber should have, or Kobe McAllister should have. He's like, no, cookies are mine. That's the Marquise Siegel mindset going into this year.
The cookie monster Marquise Siegel. But yeah, first off, no Darrell Jones season. Connor, we'll start with a question for you before you go into your general thoughts. Darrell Jones season coming in as number 0, yes or no?
I am a little sad that it's going to be a number worn by a guy that probably isn't going to play a whole lot. Which at this point I have just given up on seeing Darrell Jones get any like meaningful playing time, which really stinks because I'm a Darrell Jones truther. But it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen at this point. I think the only thing we're ever going to see of him is that video of him getting mossed by Tyrone Howell, and I think
Terrence Newman's his vertical record.
Yeah, he has like the record for verticals for I think program wide. I think it's like 44 inches or something crazy like that. But no, I would rather somebody else have it, I guess. But I'm never going to fault a guy for taking number 0 because I do. Maybe it's just a young person take, but I love 0 being available for football players. I was kind of hoping that we'd have like a defensive tackle take it or something like that.
Uso?
Yeah.
Shunky.
Yeah.
Uso with 0.
Shut your mouth. Do not say Shunky is a
Navarro
defensive
Shunky,
tackle.
number 0. He's
We
playing
can't be
tackle.
starting this, man. We can't be starting this already. I mean, guaranteed there are still people in like Great Bend who are mad that Cooper Beebe did not play defensive tackle for us.
I stand with the people of Great Bend on that one, man.
Sit down.
This is the Zoomer equivalent of like Sam's Waters.
This is a KSO equivalent of what it is. Gosh, that place is hell. But anyway, like it's I like Emmanuel Bebe had it that one year. Elijah Sullivan, I think, bore it in the first year that they allowed it.
And Bradley Moore.
Yeah. So there have been some like fairly decent guys to wear it. So I was like Giobi Izor would have been a decent pick, but he's going with 8, which is like 0 with a line through it, so that's almost it. But
I kind of liked 44 for him though.
Toby's already got it.
Oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. The O names trip me up.
Oh no, I mean that's fair. But Obi Izor, like I guess just transitioning now into just football talk. I am just shocked at the fact that he's been able to make it all the way up to 280. Like I was fully expecting him to put on a lot of weight when he got to campus, but he's now like plus 1 million pounds since he got here. Like he's like going on like a Felix journey, like, but like from a like higher floor. And that's a guy that I think maybe people are going to like. I think that's another player that Tim Brando is going to have to learn how to pronounce their last name.
Oh, God.
So that's that's my standard of goodness potentially for Cheaty.
I'm going to go completely off topic here for a second just because I've been thinking about it for the last like little bit.
That's fine.
Like, which positions make sense to have the number 0 and which positions are like yucky? Because I can't like if someone's like, oh, here's our quarterback, he wears number 0.
I'm throwing shit on the field.
I don't like it.
Come on.
I don't like
I
it.
love
I don't
that.
like quarterback wearing 0. I
That's
don't
gross.
like it. Like to me personally,
Is that a 0? For a
I
while?
like the trend of tight ends wearing 0. So if there were a particular recruit that would like to come to Kansas State University and wear the number 0, I would be down. I like defensive backs. Don't like quarterbacks. Don't like receivers. Don't like running backs. Don't like defensive linemen. Don't like linebackers.
Don't like
depends on
linebackers.
if he has aura or not. Like I don't want to see like Reed Blankenship in 0.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Ethan. I do think it kind of is like a player-to-player thing. Like quarterbacks, I don't know, man. Like Peyton Manning probably shouldn't be wearing 0.
Oh,
That's kind of horrifying. But like, I don't know. Like, there's probably a quarterback out there that could wear 0, and I'd be like, yeah, that's fine, I guess.
his
But
name's Will Howard for Ohio State.
I do generally agree, though, 0 should not be a quarterback number. But I don't know. I think defensive line is maybe the only position on the field where I think you could get away with wearing any number.
Kicker.
Kicker, yeah, I guess. Well, they don't count. They're not people,
So
but
just imagine the ice of a kicker walking out there with number 0 and then shanking a 27-yard
well,
field goal wide
I'll
left.
take you back to Ty Zentner. He also wore 8 like Chidi OBIs wore, and as I said earlier, it's basically 0 with a line through it. So
This is true.
maybe these guys are just ahead of the curve with number 0.
This is true.
Tenet gets the juice back by putting the 0 on.
I could go for that. The only thing that would really be unfortunate is if he ever goes over in a game, because that's just like really setting
That's
up
a good
for
point.
a pretty brutal graphic there. But
The Sports Center graphic would be
yeah,
terrible. Be terrible.
that
I-
may break him. But
See, because like the only thing I could think of is if like a really talented receiver wears number 0 and then just gets absolutely shut down on the day, and then it's one of those
Bro, that's
Twitter
just what
posts.
happened to Jaden Jackson.
Real.
He
That was
got
most
shut
last
down
year.
by himself.
What's going on with Jaden, man? I like Jaden. I don't know what.
Mostly
Like-
injury.
He had that Linsanity run at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he did.
RJ had that Linsanity run
For one game.
RJ had an actual, that was, oh man. And then
Where did he
we
go?
realized he can't go
Bowling
faster than 18 miles an hour.
He's a Bowling Green now, and his younger brother just committed to Bowling Green today, the day
There
we're
you go.
recording. So
I hope it works out for him. He's a great social media steward.
Love JR Ace Rag. What a guy.
JRA's. Aiden, you get next dibs for thoughts on the football season.
My thoughts on the football season are that Jacob Knuth should go back to 21.
Real.
No,
Thank you.
No.
And thread.
Yes.
No.
And thread.
Seven is one kind of a hallowed number at K-State. 2, I don't even think it's that cool for a quarterback because it's just like whatever. 21's sick.
Could you imagine getting dotted up by the backup quarterback wearing
Oh.
21?
We're in 21.
And he's from South Dakota.
21.
That's like
I mean,
Odessa Permian type
Yes,
stuff
it
right
is.
there.
Yes, it is.
Mike
You see,
Winchell type beat.
you see a quarterback come out there with
Exactly.
21, you're like, oh, we're running the triple option. And then he just dimes you.
He pieces you up. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
I'm going to the showers. That's it.
That's like Florida losing to Georgia Southern levels of, man, we got to just throw in the towel, dude. You know,
Cody Cook
and-
should have changed his number when he became quarterback. He
Yeah,
should have
could you-
changed
could
it
you
to like
imagine?
80s.
everyone would just know it forever as the Jacob Knuth game.
On
Oh.
the topic though of numbers, it's kind of crazy that 11 is retired and 7 isn't, because 7's a way more historic number. Which I think
Well, let's not disrespect Steve Grogan and Lynn Dickey, but yes,
It's not
you're right. You're right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my thought with that is maybe we're trying to turn it into a sort of LSU 18, Georgia 84 type of thing.
no, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I was actually going to say we should do that with 7. Is we need to restrict it. I think
Yeah, like team captain.
like Skyler switched to 7 like for his senior year, which was
Mhm.
certainly a choice. But I feel like him.
I didn't like that. I didn't love it.
Like I said, it was a choice, but at the very least, I felt like he had like kind of earned it. It wasn't like he just showed
No.
up and was like,
Right.
"I'm number 7 now." He like kind of been through the ringer and
Hmm.
then switched to 7. I was like,
And no disrespect to Adrian Laura, but that was kind of a wild. Just like, here you go.
There you go,
No,
kid.
like I almost think that's worse than Jake Rubley refusing to give up number 2.
Oh no! See, my take was that Avery should have worn 20.
No,
The running back, dude, that'd be so awesome.
The running
got
back
beat by a
memes,
running
and then
back.
he just
got beat by a
he's an
running
Elite
back
11
at quarterback.
finalist.
Like okay, because like the memes would like the meme posts would make themselves, because it'd just be like the hard picture of Avery with him with Edwards, still at Edwards, that just got released the other day, and just like
Oh,
in
yeah.
the background it's like a faded like he's dead, like a faded version of Cody Cook's face in the background. Like
Smiling
looking
down
over
at
him.
him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the end
Spirit.
of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
when he's drafted, it's gonna be like, look at this edit of Avery Johnson in a 20, like as a running back, and it's just him in 20.
"There we go."
Oh, It would
The,
have
the
been.
one Kansas State player to ever win the Heisman was a quarterback who wore jersey number 20. Like, could you imagine?
No.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
Full. Yes.
If you asked me, if I was like not a K-State fan, you gave me that fact, I'd assume it was like some guy that got drafted into World War II, like and like came back after like 40 and won it in 46, like facing like a bunch of like 16-year-olds.
You see that line of stars pointing north in the sky.
George Blanda type beat.
I think
Snarmo Doyle quarterback over here, but
Ralph Graham would have won the Heisman if it existed.
I think that's true. I think you're right. I think Ralph Graham is a slept on Kansas State University.
I agree. He was the leading scorer in program history until Grammatica.
Gosh.
Which is wild for a fullback. Well, I mean, it was a different position back then, but still.
No. Y'all sleeping on my goat, Eldon Ocker, though.
You've
Ocker #1 poster.
like you've been the most consistent Eldon Ocker.
Have I really?
I think so. Like I've heard.
Have I talked about him that much?
I mean, not a lot, but I can remember you on at least one other occasion, like really something.
If Eldon Ocker has 1 million fans, I am one of them. If Eldon Ocker has 1 fan, I am still here. If Eldon Ocker has no fans, then I am dead.
I mean, I think that was literally today. Eldon Ocker got brought up in the chat.
Eldon Ocker for life, baby. My On3 username was Ralph Graham Enjoyer.
We're going to keep your Twitter name secret so you can remain anonymous.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Effectively a burner.
The greatest handle that I'm just wasting right now by never tweeting.
You retweet like every 2 months.
That's my contribution, baby.
The greatest burners on Twitter just don't do anything. They just sit there.
I just consume.
Taking up space.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm using
Lucas,
server space.
What are your expectations for the football team as someone who's actually been around the football team? Not this particular football team, but the football team.
It's tough, and this is going to sound terrible. I don't really have any expectations because I feel like there are literally 8 teams in this conference that can realistically push for a Big 12 championship game this season. And I don't think it has anything to do with how good any of them are. And it has everything to do with how lucky they are. I think the conference champion is not going to be the best team in the conference statistically. It's going to be the luckiest and like
healthiest.
Yeah. So like my thought process is that the conference championship game is going to come down between a team that is 10-2 and a team that is 8-4, and the 8-4 team is going to win. That's my headcanon. I don't know.
It's not a headcanon. It hasn't happened yet. It's called a prediction.
Let me write fan fiction about stuff that hasn't happened yet. But like, you know, it feels bad to me because it feels like we're almost entering sort of like a reload, not a rebuild, but like a reload year. You know, you bring in a new offensive coach who's going to bring in a new offensive scheme, full-time new starting quarterback. You're going to lean on DJ a lot, which is why you bring in a guy like Dylan. Brand new offensive line, almost across the board. Like the guys have played before, you know, but this is going to be their first time being the guys. New tight end, new receivers in a couple spots. We have not had great luck with transfer receivers. And you know, the defense across the board, I think, is a pretty. I think the defense will be fine. But I hesitate to say they're going to be phenomenal. I hate to say we're about to hit the patented K-State 8-4, but like I can see anywhere from 7-5 to 11-1. Honestly, I cannot tell you which is the most likely. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I legitimately do not know what to tell people when it comes to predictions because it's just so much could happen with this conference, especially the way it's being built right now. And like, we have a hard schedule. Like, don't let anybody fool you. We have a hard schedule. It's just going to come down to how lucky and healthy do you get. You know,
I kind of forfeited my take because of the Knuth thing, which is a legit take. But I was going to say, yeah, kind of essentially that. Just like, I feel like our offense is going to be, firing on all cylinders. We're going to be crazy fast. And then it's going to come down to just like defensive luck and health. Like, I don't know. We have some depth, but not a ton. So it's like, if you lose a few key linebackers or safeties, it's like, K-State in 4, baby.
Yeah, I am a little. I've sort of been on the fence in this season since. I mean, Connor, you remember this. Like, as soon as after the Pop-Tarts Bowl happened, I've always kind of been on the fence for how this upcoming season is going to be, and I've sort of adjusted to thinking that the floor is 8-4. I think that's just what Kleiman, like, I don't think he's going to lose more than 4 games in a year. But I'm leaning more towards a 10-2 season, because I don't think that talent on this roster is the question. It's how that talent is going to sort of gel together. And especially in a new season or a new scheme, not necessarily a new scheme because it's similar scheming, but it's additional person calling or helping out with the plays, and Matt Wells. It's all about how the talent sort of comes together and plays together. And I am leaning more towards like the 10-2 range than I am the 8-4 range. But the team is so young and so relatively inexperienced, but so unbelievably talented that I am finding myself agreeing with Lucas, saying that this team is really, really difficult to predict. And that's why it's kind of a reload year. But that being said, I still think in the opportunity in a reload year, there is a legitimate path to the Big 12 championship for K-State football. And I don't think it's particularly unrealistic one either.
No.
It sounds like Wildcat gotten in your ear recently, because that's a different change of tone than recent.
I think 10-2 could legit happen.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. But,
because I think they dropped one random game that they probably shouldn't, probably up against West Virginia, if I had to guess. And then one game that, it's going to end up being a toss-up. But if you can avoid the one random game that has seemingly plagued every single year of the Kleiman era, it becomes really easy to see this team in Arlington just based on the talent.
I also 2025 might be the better year. Well, clearly, because everyone will be a year older, but I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up, Aiden, because it seems recently like a lot of the K-State tastemakers and like the actual media people that it seems like they've been kind of pushing this is the year for 2025 as of right now, which I'd bet that's the belief around Veneer. If I had to guess, because I imagine they're expecting a lot of guys to come back this year. I would imagine Avery will be back pending some disaster, but I think that's probably where we're headed right now. But that's not to discount this year's team, because I do remember after the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Ace and I have been I remember Ace was a little bit more reserved. I'm generally maybe a little bit too optimistic about things. My main question mark is how quickly does the offensive line gel this year? I'm not super worried about the defense at all, honestly. I like that most positions we either have a returning starter or a really experienced transfer coming in. And the only exception really being a defensive end, which I keep forgetting Brendan Mott's coming back. But you have Chidi Obiizor, who's added a ton of weight. Jordan Allen, who redshirted last year, supposedly has been really good in practice. And then
Ryan Davis, hopefully he
Right.
doesn't have mono anymore.
well, I really hope so. But and then Marenko's coming in at linebacker. Malcolm Alcorn Crowder's here now too. I mean, there's a lot of talent on the defense. They're going to have a game or two where they just get shown up because that's just life in modern college football, unless you're just the elite of the elite, and we aren't. But offense, I have a ton of belief in Avery Johnson, and I think the big thing is I really think that Matt Wells is going to be so important for Connor Riley this year, because Connor Riley definitely needs, I think, help with the passing game, and that's exactly why Matt Wells is here, is to do that and be the QB whisperer. And there's two things he can do: is he can scheme the hell out of the pass game, and he can coach quarterbacks, and that's all we need him to do this year, is figure out the pass game for Avery and talk to Avery and make sure that he's got things figured out. I think I think that there's no reason that we can't have two consecutive all-time type seasons, with this year being more of like a 2011 and next year being more of a 2012.
97, 98.
Even better.
Well, how about this? How about, and I know this is kind of hijacking the stream a little bit. How about I just go really quickly? I just go down the list of every game, and everybody, as of right now, give your gut feeling, win or loss on that game right now.
Ooh,
Yeah,
we should do.
That's
We
perfect.
should
and then
do
we can
every
move it
game.
into
We should do every game and then predict each individual player's stats too.
No.
No.
All right. So first off,
That's next.
first off,
Can't give that away for free. We gotta come back.
that's for the subscribers only.
8-hour episode.
No,
So-
dog. We still got to talk about basketball.
Yeah. Starting off, UT Martin,
Dub.
Win, but in white.
Tulane,
Win.
Win.
Without Willie Fritz.
Yeah, it's got
Win.
W.
No Pratt. It's a win.
Arizona,
That's a home game, right?
Yeah.
Struggle win.
Friday night.
Growing pains. Struggle win.
Yeah, very tough win.
I agree.
I love Noah Fafita, so I'm gonna say OT win.
So I'm at 3-0 right now.
Uh,
BYU on the road.
win.
Loss. Altitude.
W. BYU sucks.
What day?
I think it's a win.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a win. Sorry, win.
We'll call it no contest. Somebody's going to punt the ball, and it's just not going to come back down.
Oklahoma State at home.
Win.
I think that's
that
Revenge win.
might be the random L that has no explanation.
I think it's going to be the random 48-0 that we can't really explain. But
Yeah. There's no in between.
life
For
against
me-
Mike Gundy.
OSU 2018.
For me, I think it's the next week at Colorado. I think that's our first loss for no reason.
Dylan
Nah.
Edwards' revenge game. I think we win.
I think we'll get up for that game.
I
So I
think,
think we win.
equal type game on that for Colorado. Big win.
Well, as long as Connor and I don't show up to that game and they hit a record-breaking field goal.
I don't want to talk about it, man.
That was I was there.
Don't worry, one of you didn't grow up a Colorado fan, so
All right, Lucas, next game.
Okay, so Colorado. That's game 6. Next, West Virginia on the road.
Loss.
That's a loss.
That's a tough L. Tough L.
W.
I think it's a tough win. Kansas
Aiden,
at home.
are you undefeated so far, Aiden?
No, I said we'd lose to BYU.
Oh yeah.
They got some. I can't say that. I was gonna say they got some voodoo up there, but I can't say that about the Church of Latter-day Saints.
You just did.
They stole Jake Clifton from us.
Part of the long con, man, to weaken the conference opponents. Just
Hey Jake, you like soaking?
you like shotgun?
Next
Come
game, next
on,
game.
man. Come on, man. Come on.
Next game.
Okay. Kansas at home.
Win.
Win.
I think
I don't. I'm.
2-point victory for the Cats.
Big win.
Well,
Overtime.
never mind.
I think we win
next
by
game.
35, and Devin Neal's playing quarterback the whole time because they're out of QBs.
Fair. Real.
Real and raw.
Houston on the road.
Win.
Loss.
Oh, that might be with Willie.
I was
Fritz,
gonna
they
say
actually-
struggle win.
Houston is really tough.
Donovan Smith is
project
kind of
this year.
underrated.
Also, I feel like Houston has like receivers, like the kind that we struggle against.
Like good ones.
Yeah. Namely, ones who can catch and are fast.
Not that aren't
The Baylor archetype guys, where they just jump over.
They're like
like
6'2" and have like Durant arms, and you're like,
there's
what
a
is
team
happening?
of Tyquan Thorntons.
That kind of made me nauseous to my stomach when you said that.
Team of Jonathan Adams Juniors.
Jonathan Adams.
That's
Jr.
even worse. Anyway, next game.
What a shout!
Arizona State at home.
Win.
Easiest dub of all time.
Oh yeah,
That's probably not true, but that's an easy.
Let's not jinx it like that.
Will they be the worst team in the conference, or will Cincy be the worst team in the conference?
They started
Cincy.
7 quarters last year. It's fine.
I
almost
think
certainly
Dillingham
gonna
will
do
have
That
the
is
boys
insane.
running.
They'll at least be trying.
That's true, and like Kenny Dillingham is he's a good coach. Like he needs time to build
I
stuff.
like
into him.
Dillingham.
We were saying before the show, I think, he had them in most of their games last year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. It's just they don't have the pieces yet. And the thing about Arizona State is like everybody calls them a sleeping giant. But like the people don't care out there. Yeah, they're dead. They're not a
Yeah.
sleeping giant. They are dead.
They're
Yeah, they're like a half asleep intermediate height, I think, is probably like the best way.
a narcoleptic manlet.
Exactly. Whoa, hold on. I know this is
Let's
getting
not throw the
explicit.
M word
let's,
now.
Let's not throw the slurs around here, okay? Hold on a second. We're better than that.
we did say this episode was.
We support Shark
My-
Kings.
For those of you who don't recognize, the fact that Austin said that and I got on him for it is probably the funniest bit of physical comedy we could do that you can't see. So,
Next game.
next game, Cincinnati.
Win.
Win.
Unless Satterfield's fighting for bowl eligibility.
Unless it's snowing.
So it's a win then.
Yeah.
Unless it's snowing. And then Iowa State on the road.
Oh,
When Matt Campbell becomes the associate head coach at Kansas State University.
ooh.
So I have 10-2.
What do
I
say?
have a tentative 10-2 with 3 games that I have listed as wins that I have as like a push.
That seems pretty accurate. But
Yeah.
that's also, we're doing the fan podcast thing where everyone predicts exactly this for their team every single year if you're not
Yeah.
Georgia
Yeah.
or Bama. But
Yeah.
that's what we do here.
Because like what are your maybe like trap game surprise losses?
Houston.
I still say BYU. I hate the first
I like that
altitude
pick.
game.
Yeah.
Connor.
BYU is a big trap game. If Tulane still had Fritz, I'd say that. But even then, like I'm still pretty worried about that game. That and then yeah, those two.
I can see us falling victim to the hype in Boulder and just being like, oh, we have to beat Dion. We have to shut them up. All the cameras are going to be here. And then just falling on our face.
Well, if it goes like it did this past year, they're already going to be like out of bowl contention by that point. So
Do you believe?
Connor,
No.
that is the 6th game of the year. They get out of bowl contention at 0-5.
0-6, 0-5, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they're going to give up, man.
No, it's actually they got a postseason ban for recruiting violations.
that's fair.
I've seen the scripts, so
I've seen this.
my scary games, like overtly scary games. Arizona, Oklahoma State, Colorado, West Virginia, Kansas, and Iowa State. Those are my scary.
man's listing the conference games.
Yes. What did I just say earlier? What did
That's
I
true.
just
That's fair.
say about the Big 12 earlier?
This is the most like parody we've ever seen in a conference.
Real.
Also, I think I'm making the executive decision that this is just going to be the football episode. We'll do the
I
other
was gonna
sports
say, we're
next
doing
week.
45 minutes.
We're at 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do the
Alright,
other
so
sports
check.
next week with Hayes.
Darn, Jacob Knuth.
21.
No, but yeah, I do agree that this conference has a lot of parity because I think Kelly Ford put out the rankings, and by analytics, K-State would be favored in every single game they play, at least preseason. But
I disagree.
yeah, to me, I think West Virginia still could be anything because
Yeah.
West Virginia could be anything. I don't think BYU will be good, but that away atmosphere is pretty solid. We did duck Utah, fortunately, but
See, the weirdest thing about it, right? Colorado has a lot of talent
yeah.
that are starters.
Uh-huh.
You know, like if you forget how much of a dork Shador is, he's a really good quarterback. He's just a terrible leader. And I am not afraid to say that. Shador, if you have such a small, like little pansy brain that you somehow hear this and come after me, go for it, dude. Like you're just gonna lose at halftime after posting your merch on the thing. Rap about it, homie. But like seriously.
Lucas is faster than you, plus ratio, plus.
I might actually be
Lucas
faster.
actually might be faster.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that.
But
Bro,
like
he won a race against Kleiman.
Sanders Jr. The day of recording, Deion Sanders Jr. absolutely got flamed by
Quincy Avery.
Yeah.
my thing with that though is like if you separate the bad leadership that's going on in Boulder, they legitimately have a lot of talent on that roster. They could surprise anybody on any given week. And that's going to be the first time Colorado plays K-State since 2011, 2010. Old Big 8 heads like myself, which by the way, Charlie Hustle just put out a shirt like a week ago.
No free ads.
Oh, guys, did you see
With
my
that
home
being
field
said,
shirt?
they did just follow the Alleycats on Twitter, so like
free ads for the
I'm just saying
brand.
there's the potential for cheap ads.
I'm always
I like your shirt, Aiden.
That's a shirt.
I-
got it from a
Nice
website.
unbranded and normal shirt.
Exactly.
I got it. I made
blank
it.
Black T-shirt. I'm just saying that because like that's going to be for Colorado. If you ask around, the Big 12 team they dislike the most, K-State. They did not forget Snyder. Like
everyone hates Colorado, so it balances
everyone
out.
hates Colorado, so it's going to be reciprocated. But like my thing with this is I think that's the game they have circled on their
I can
schedule.
see that actually. We might be looking at a rivalry.
Yeah.
I don't know if we fully considered this yet, but have we thought that maybe Colorado was behind the attempted coup in Bolivia today so they could get more lithium to create more batteries to throw a field?
Did you ask if anyone else has considered that? Because no.
Connor,
Yeah,
You're just so
Connor.
advanced.
Connor, the FBI would like to know your location. I'm just going to point that out. Like you need to be careful, bro.
FBI is like 2 weeks behind. CIA is already on.
Just imagine Dion sitting there in his in his hoodie that says "I ain't hard to find," and he's just like typing away at a computer,
He's eating his little almonds that he has on his breast.
literally organizing a military coup.
I mean, it might be Dion planning it because it didn't go very well.
Oh come on! All right, we can't give them too much bulletin board material. Actually, that is a fair question. How much like cross fan base interaction do you guys get in general?
Not a
Let's talk
lot.
analytics.
Let's talk numbers.
But let's
What is the
not.
total market share value of the Aggieville Alleycats? I mean, but like seriously, like do you guys
$2.
ever get like? because I remember a while ago, maybe this was a couple years ago, you guys had some fans of a team get in your mentions.
The
That
most
was LSU.
consistent is KU, I think.
That tracks though, because like we're each other's little brother.
Yeah. But it seems like we often get salty, like one salty West Virginia guy. And it's always a different guy.
Yeah.
But like, it's
God
always,
bless
there's always
those hillbillies. God bless those hillbillies. They would die for anything.
I respect it.
Seriously, they're mountaineers. There is not a single hill they won't die on. It's what they're made for.
It's instinctual.
But yeah, I think the
love those
LSU
teams.
after the Texas Bowl was bad. That was
They
bad.
were so upset. Oh man.
You beat our junior varsity. It's like, cool. Then don't play your junior varsity. Tell your guys to get their pads on and play the game.
That was for Matthew Longwa.
We had I don't know, maybe it wasn't us, but I at least remember seeing LSU fans in K-State mentions. Not after the football or after the football game, they were mad. After the men's basketball game, they were mad. But the one they picked to really come out of the woodwork was after they beat us in baseball.
Yep.
Back in 23.
They were still
and
mad.
At that point, they were like, why aren't you saying anything now? We just beat you.
It's like an institutional thing for them.
Yeah, I guess. Which I guess they take baseball way more seriously.
Scheme.
I just thought it was very funny to see them equate the Texas Bowl to like a random
First game of the season.
They must have seen me Brady off the field. and got
multi-team
really
event.
upset with it. I will say this: the only time I ever had an object thrown at me was at that football game, and it was by an LSU fan who not only called me a slur, but also called me Italian.
Famous Italian name, Lucas Cook.
Exactly. Do I look at? I'm not even going to get into that. I just thought it was interesting. I just thought it was interesting because I was just like, "What do you mean? Where did this come from?" I wasn't even doing anything. Like because this dude was like screaming something or other, and then we score, and then I turn around and look at him,
And it was Ed Orgeron.
I wouldn't have put it past him to actually go to that game somewhere and hide, like buy general admission tickets somewhere and just hide somewhere.
And Orgeron called you Italian. Italian.
I got COVID at that game from Echo Bueno's brother.
Isn't his brother a doctor?
Deep lore. Deep lore.
Oh no!
It was for
Oh
my-
no!
It was terrible.
Guys, this episode has to go on longer. There's more lore that needs to get.
No.
Wait, hold on. What was thrown at you, Lucas?
It was a water bottle. It was like a. And my favorite thing about it is, right, like I could tell he was drunk,
Uh-huh.
and I could tell he had
Because
not
he
been
was an
drinking that
LSU
water
fan.
bottle because that water bottle had not been opened. He threw an unopened water bottle at me in the third quarter of a football game. That dude had been holding on to it. Either he had just gotten it and was so rightfully enraged at me looking him in the eyes in the fourth row of the stands that he just had to throw it at me. Or that okay, I will say this. I was not all the time a very good my form of talking trash, because I was wearing K-State stuff. I was an official worker for K-State football. Like I could not engage with fans in anything. I could, however, look them directly in the eyes after certain things happened, especially if they had been loud. Like I wouldn't just find a random dude and lock eyes, like it would have to be the same dude. And the only two fan bases to have ever lost their minds at me because I did that was LSU and Texas. Now, the one dude who managed to sneak into the filming area while we were filming in Ames, actually a chill dude. Didn't get his name. He was very drunk, but he was actually surprisingly a chill dude. Because I remember it was this was the last Iowa State game I went to. It was the Adrian was the quarterback.
Yeah, this was also the bridge isn't even that good picture.
Yeah, it was the 10-9 game. I remember peak Farmageddon.
Worst game of all time.
Peak Farmageddon. but it's like the last 30 seconds of the game. This dude, the thing that separated the filming area for like the official team filming area for both squads, because Jack Trice Stadium is 1,000,000 years old and will never get any valuable, like worthwhile updates. It was like a concrete area, and it was just like an overhang over top of it. And the thing that separated the fans sitting in like normal admission to us was literally a fence gate. That was it. And so like
chain link?
No, just like a fence, like a normal fence gate, essentially a baby gate. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding you. And like it was just like a normal latch, and anybody could just unlatch it and walk right in. And in the third quarter, after the third quarter, this dude just did. He just came in, and he stands like about 3 feet behind me near the wall while I'm filming K-State play Iowa State in that game. And he's talking. I don't like talk back at all because I'm doing my job for a majority of the time. He's talking to me, and past a certain point in the game, you know, because it's the last like minute of the game or something like that. And like K-State had either, I don't remember, either we just scored or something. I don't remember how the game went. I just remember Iowa State had the ball, and there was like a minute left, and they had like 3 plays where they had moved the ball really well. And he's standing right behind me, and I to myself go, all right, well, Iowa State's going to win. And he puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, no, we aren't. Watch this. 2 plays later, Iowa State botches it. Just like peak calm. Like he had been drunk. He was just peak calm and just like puts his hand on my shoulder, goes, no, we aren't. Watch this.
That man,
and I turned around to look at him afterward. He just nodded at me and left. And I was
a
like,
ball knower.
That's
a ball knower.
This man, like, I feel something for this dude. Like, you know, we had a moment. I don't know who he is, where he came from, whether he's been an Iowa State fan his whole life or not. But there was
faded into the floor, like Field of Dreams.
Exactly. Like this, wherever you are, dude, wherever you are. I hope Cyclone Jim Carrey gave you some pause or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I hope he's happier now, because like the way he said it to me was just like I felt bad. I felt bad. You know, I was just like, this dude, he's one of us. This man has.
You're not so different, you and I.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. One of my favorite memories all time of being with football was that right there. And I don't think I will ever have anything that remotely comes anywhere close to that memory.
I think you need to share that with Gene, because I think that might be the single best argument in favor of opening up beer sales throughout the state.
I think he's gonna hear that and go like, "No more beer garden.
Gonna take away everything.
Get it out of here."
I don't know who it was. Someone on Twitter today suggested I'm turning it into a crack garden, and
ooh,
increase belligerence amongst the fan base.
There you go.
So batteries right outside too.
No,
yeah.
we can't.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have the student section, but
you were the chosen one.
Yeah, we also need like an ultras section.
All right. Well, I think that's as good a way to wrap up the football vibe.
What do you mean it's as good a way to wrap it up? We just talked about throwing batteries and crack gardens.
Hold on.
Yep.
Over under 0.5 alternate uniforms.
Over. We have one game.
What do we know? What do we know here? Hold on a second. These are confident answers.
We wear the all whites to Colorado.
I was listening to a different podcast today, and somebody else said that. I think it was Scott on Bosco's Boys said that he had a pretty good
free ads.
No free ads.
No free ads.
He's given us plenty of free ads, so I'm okay with it. But
yeah, that's their policy, not ours.
Fair. Right. So, name redacted podcast.
Generic Kansas State fan podcast.
Yeah, Black Labrador Kansas State podcast hosted by redacted. He said that we're probably wearing our all whites.
No genders.
So here's my guess as to why it'll be Colorado. That will be the most widely published game early in the season that we play. Like publish isn't the right word, but like it's Colorado.
It's
ESPN's going to send like 5 broadcast teams to that game. Like it's going to be on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN Classics. It's going to be on
ESPN 8 the
ESPNW.
Ocho.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Bring back ESPN Classics. That was awesome.
ESPN News, baby.
that's probably going to be the highest
Yes,
profile
it is.
game K-State plays until Kansas, because I think that game is going to be game day.
So what's the logo on the helmet though? If we're doing all white, is it going to be sailor? Flag.
It's
It'll be
Power
Power
Cat.
Cat.
Yeah, I feel like with that many eyes, you have to stick with the Power Cat.
That
Yeah.
game is going to be our greatest recruiting tool, and the recruits
That's
love
or
the
one
all white.
stripe.
So
And we're probably gonna botch it because, like we said, we're gonna get all up in arms about Dion and Dion.
the Colorado game is where we debut the all icy whites that have lavender trim for no reason.
Please. Please.
Not- and
Aiden, did you just break a noise gate?
Yes.
I don't know the power of this microphone.
Like, there's going to be people. They're going to be like 40-year-old K-State fans listening to this podcast in like
Just
2026 who are like asleep.
Good,
They're
wake up.
listening to this to go to sleep, and
no,
that's
no one above like
Brother, it's time for the cats.
bring on the cats.
Bring on the cats. What do you think Dave Lewis is doing right now?
What are we doing, man?
Dave
Come
Lewis,
on.
I think he still works. No, he might have just retired from K-Man. I don't know, man. But yeah, that was a good PA announcer, Dave Lewis. The
Was it?
last game that he PA announced was the blowout loss to Texas in the COVID season.
Oh,
Dud to end on.
I just remember Mitch's first game though was OU 2019.
Yeah, I remember.
was-
Yeah, showing up and I'm like, "Where's Dave? This isn't Dave."
This is not Dave. Where do I know this voice from?
We got to end it. We got to end it on something fun. Ethan, who's your favorite obscure K-State football player in history?
Brian Kavanaugh, easily.
Okay, Connor,
Dylan Meyer.
is he obscure?
Ooh. Well, he's about as obscure as Brian Kavanaugh.
That's fair. Aiden,
Taco Wallace.
were you the one who was spamming Taco Wallace in the chat before we started?
Yes.
Well, yeah, duh.
That's fair. Ace,
Connor, who is that random DT that was like supposed to be an All-American, was just eating people but never did anything in the NFL?
What?
You're
You
talking
gotta
about
remember, we
you talking
had
about
this
Mario Fatafehi?
I think it is. I think I'm talking about him.
we have a piece of his jersey, Mario Fatafehi.
What you steal it from him?
Just a piece.
James White.
Well, it was like in one of those
Virginia White.
stupid. It was in one of those stupid like collector card things that has like a piece of their jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and now looking back on it, it's like it's just a piece of Mario Fatafehi's like Senior Bowl jersey. It wasn't even a K-State jersey.
This
is great.
I could go down the list, man. Y'all remember Wade Wiebert?
Yeah, dude. Ooh, Weston Hebert. I'm revising my answer.
Weston Hebert. There we
Weston
go.
Hebert. There you go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Wade Wiebert. You gotta go. Grant Gregory.
Greg.
Devin Nash.
Really decent defensive tackle. Oh, speaking of really okay defensive tackles, Jordan Mitty. Grad
Jordan
transfer.
Mid. There you go.
Jordan
Yeah.
Mitty. Will Geary, not super.
I think Will Geary counts as niche now.
People liked him though.
He shouldn't count as niche, but I think he is niche.
I think
Yeah.
exactly.
He's one of the most
We've
underrated
moved
players
on.
in the history of K-State, I think.
Oh yeah, he was actually like legit good.
He was. He was
He was-
nuts.
Good.
Like how people just kind of conveniently forget about Aaron Lockett. They're like, oh, Kevin and Tyler, and then they just and Aaron returned some kicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Conveniently. I don't know.
All right. Who wants to go first for for tagging their socials? Not Aiden, because he wants to remain anonymous on his Twitter burner.
Let's go basketball.
That's next week.
Next
We're
week.
gonna miss. No, we're doing. It's 12 hours.
Absolutely not. Ethan.
I I don't really want to. I'm anonymous too. We can cut that part out.
Okay, Lucas.
Are we editing this?
Nope.
No, unedited
That's what I
completely.
figured.
It's definitely gonna be edited. Hey guys, do you have a YouTube? If so, you may be interested in Deluxe on YouTube. Dalukes. I literally already gave my pitch early on in the episode, but one of the things that I'm planning on doing later on, either this summer or later in the year, is a complete history of Kansas State football. So if you guys are interested in that, probably going to be multi-episode, probably going to be really long, probably going to be really sad, probably going to feature some names and faces you might recognize, potentially some voices, because I cannot do this on my own. One of the what's the buzzword that gets thrown around everything with K-State athletics?
Agony. Family.
What
I was
did
gonna
you just
say- Ace, please, the other one. Thank you. Family. Definitely not the first thing that he said that's true. But I really want to use it as an opportunity to highlight everybody in the space if I can. So I spent like 2 minutes plugging myself. Great.
follow Lucas Cock.
Dude,
Follow DeFreakus.
I'm going to reach through this. I got to read you guys real quick. I know this is like
Connor, I'm sorry. Your plug is getting
this might get cut.
off.
But I got a tweet the other day that was flipping awesome. I say the other day like it wasn't months ago, but I had a comment on one of my videos that was, love this video. You're like if John Boyes and Ken Burns had a baby that really loved Bill Snyder. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's great stuff.
That's an endorsement right there.
Yes,
My God.
it is.
That's like you should put that on a presidential campaign.
I was gonna put it on a T-shirt and wear it.
Oh, that was a good choice. Hey, do you know that K-State men's basketball once had a player named Ed Head?
See, this is the part where we reference for future reference for you guys before you click off this podcast. Because
That's happened a long time ago.
these two guys still have to.
Yeah, how many listeners do we have right at this point?
I
4?
No.
James Smith, wherever you are, do not pull off this
Jimmy?
podcast. This little mini series that these guys are doing may or may not be doing. It has a different name than normal. There may be some episodes that get the explicit tag on it, mainly because this is one of them, as I'm sure people have already noticed. These episodes have the possibility of getting really fun really quickly. So I heavily recommend that you guys stick around for more future
No one's here. I like that you're doing this when no one's listening.
Let me plug. I'm addicted to plugging.
Lucas plug.
DePlugus. All right, Connor, plug your stuff.
I'm at Connor Batsor, capital C, capital B. I'm kind of tired, man. I want to go to bed.
All right. I'm at Ace Edwards. Thank you all for listening to the first episode of Night in the Ville. Be sure to follow us at Aggieville Alleycats just about anywhere. Aiden, I saw that. But we will see you all probably next week where we will have one additional member adding to the chaos. But thank you all for listening to this one. Hope to see you all next time.